going on, Jeromes? A beautiful day for some Q&A. Actually, it's like sleeting. Sleet right now. But thank you, everyone who submitted questions. And again, we will get better at doing Q&As. We're working on it. So first up is from 80s Baby. What is your dream draft if we stick and pick with the current picks we have? Can you touch on why you would pick those players and why it makes sense? So in terms of value, so the Vikings have a first, third, a fifth, as well as a sixth round, number 187. So in the first round, and again, going by PFF as well as other mock simulators, approximate value of where players could go. Frankly, if they came over with these four without trading picks, like, I would be okay. So Derek Harmon at 24, just that rock solid against the run, emerging as a pass rusher, really had a breakout season for Oregon last year, the former Michigan State product, and also just solid, and it does seem like Harmon is one of those players where he's got a high floor, high ceiling, and is going to be perfect for this defense, playing 5-tech, kick inside on passing downs, and just go from there. Just led the nation in pressures, all that stuff. And even though the Vikings did bring in Allen as well as Hargrave, they're on the wrong side of 30. Harrison Phillips also in the upper 20s as well. So youth movement there on the D-line would make a ton of sense. Tate Ratledge. I don't know why people don't talk about Tate Ratledge more, because 3-year starter at Georgia, tested out of the roof, and he's just a dog. Like, his game reminds me of Brandon Scherf a lot, like when he was at Iowa. Just the mentality, just the way he finishes blocks and everything like that. So if you get Ratledge, even though he's primarily played right guard, if you flip him over to left guard, and Darrisaw, Ratledge, Kelly, Fries, Brian O'Neill, that's one of the best offensive lines in football. And I don't say that hyperbolically, maybe a little. O'Donnell Fortune. So in terms of corners that Flores has drafted, in conjunction with Kwesi and the Vikings, you look at Mekhi Blackman 2 years ago, you look at Kyrie Jackson, rest in power, and you look at O'Donnell Fortune. So all the quarterbacks the Vikings have drafted have done exceedingly well with PFF grades, and as well as in terms of length, in terms of getting after things. Like, O'Donnell Fortune is going to be a stud in this league. So lengthy, getting after it, press man, all that stuff. Fortune was great in the Gamecocks defense last year for Beamer, and I think that him in the fifth will be good. And they got Billy Bowman. Billy frickin' Bowman, man. Not gonna lie. Him, Makuba, crushes. Like, absolute draft crushes. Like, Billy Bowman, I don't know if he'll be a full-time starter in this league. Like, he's undersized, but super feisty, super twitchy, downhill, plays all heart and hustle. Like, he is the quintessence. Like, his game really reminds me of little Jimmy Leonard, a former Stupid Badger. But the way that he played for the Jets, just all heart, all hustle, all muscle. That's good. Like, so honestly, if the Vikings came away with those four spots, and I know, what about tight end? What about receiver? What about running back? What about backup quarterback? I mean, there's only so much you can do with 4 picks. So that's what I would go with. Next, Todd Putty. All yellow alternate uniform this year. I don't know. Like, even though I'm a member of Team Yellow, maybe it looked like too much piss. But a yellow alternate would be pretty sweet. I think we got like a yellow Chris Carter jersey that we wear on video sometimes. But I don't know. Like, I feel like in terms of having fun with the uniforms, the Vikings low-key haven't really done much. Like, we as fans are like jizzing in our pants, just like, please just have the gray face mask. You know how weird that is? Like, they've been around since 1961, and the best alternate uniform we have is a gray face mask. Come on. Next, it's Kate. Sure. For a trade back, what would be the limit? Take it to the limit. How far is too far? Giants at 34. I think that's about the ballpark. And we sort of simulated a couple of trade proposals down in terms of trade value. I think we did the Browns at 33, the Giants at 34, the Titans at 35. And I think it was the Bills at 30, and I think it was the Chiefs at 31. I think that's what we're talking about. So overall, like, if the Vikings do find a trade partner, as weird as it sounds, I don't want it to be a small trade down, because you're not going to get a lot. Like, if you made a deal swapping 24 and 26, you might get a fifth, but dropping to 30 through 35, you're probably getting a third rounder plus. and change. So that could make a lot more sense in that regard. Plus, I think it's going to be a spot where, obviously the talent level is going to be pretty flat from 15 to 70, but also other teams see that as well. So unless they're coming up for something specific, it might be hard to trade back. But if the Vikings do, hopefully they get good value. Next, Cody Pierce. Who would you be willing to sell the house and trade up into the top 10 for? If so, who? I would go for Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, as well as Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. Now, this isn't just a bias for Michigan because J.J. McCarthy went there. Like, Mason Graham, Will Johnson are going to be two true blue legit studs, pun intended, right? And other than that, like, I don't know, the odd chance that Genty falls or something like that, or odd chance, well, I was going to say Travis Hunter, except it's very unlikely that he gets out of the top 4 picks. So, yeah, but if Will Johnson falls at 10 to outside the top 10, go up and go get your guy. Lastly, Blake Kettler, OG Jerome. What is a player that the Vikings draft that you thought was a bad pick that turned out well, and vice versa? So I've been very honest and forthcoming about my reservations about Justin Jefferson in 2020 coming out of LSU, where he only played in the slot because you had Terrace Marshall Jr. and some guy named Jamar Chase on the outside at the X and the Z. And you did wonders like, well, is he going to be a slot-only guy in the NFL, like CeeDee Lamb, basically? Or is he going to struggle getting off a press? Is this, that, and the other thing? It turned out pretty good. And even though in that draft we actually liked Jalen Reagor, the pride of TCU, a former Vikings legend, better than Jefferson, because I think we got too hung up on trying to replace specifically Stephon Diggs. And I thought that Reagor and his vertical attack would sync up better in conjunction with Thielen and Kirk Cousins. But obviously, it's okay to be wrong. Also, I'm not alone in that regard. A lot of people were concerned about Jefferson not getting off a press and only being in the slot. That's why he fell so far in the draft. But everyone's sort of revisionist history. Oh, no, I always knew that he was going to be the GOAT. Yeah, but I'm certainly okay being wrong. And certainly okay admitting it. Players that I thought the Wyatt Davis, no matter what, was just going to be a stud. At the Ohio State, and he was just a monster. And it was like that national title game, Ohio State, Alabama, where Quinton Williams just tore things up. That only happened after Wyatt Davis went out with injury, right? And just thought that getting him in the 3rd round in 2021, that was monster value. Like, the 3rd round from the 2021 draft class was supposed to be the bread and butter for the Vikings. So Kellen Mond, future franchise quarterback, Chaz Surratt, off-ball linebacker stud, Wyatt Davis starting guard for a decade, PJ2 coming off the edge. Like, this is Rick Spielman's last draft, and I mean, this is supposed to be good. I mean, King Kene and his physical ability, Beasley moving from safety to corner, Janarius Robinson in that mix, ICM as wide receiver 4 and kick return stud, Zach Davidson. What was the stupid name that Davidson had for, the Cousins had for Davidson? I forget what it was. Jalen Twyman, the undersized electric defensive tackle from Pitt. Supposed to be that guy. Not gonna lie, like sometimes I will just look at old drafts and just be like, oh yeah, they're supposed to be dudes and stuff. But let's see, 2020, Cam Dancer was supposed to be that guy, except just didn't happen. Jumping James Lynch, I thought was going to be legit. I mean, the pride of Baylor, a bit of a tweener, like too small for the interior, not long or fast enough to be an every down edge in the league. Harrison and KJ, I still believe in KJ, man. Blake Brandel. Mama, I'm so hard to Brandon now. Jumping Josh Metellus in that 6th round. And then the suite of 7th round picks. Remember, Spielman loved the 7th round picks because it was easier than trying to fight in UDFA. Also, 7th round picks can get less guaranteed money than UDFAs. Brian Cole II, Kyle Big Hinton, from no relation to Chris Hinton. The pride of Washburn University, go Ichabods. Bradbury, the Grim Reacher, is supposed to be it. Irv Smith. Madison in that 3rd. Remember, I was when the Vikings traded down like 17 bajillion times and still got Madison. Samia and Wyatt Davis were supposed to be the starting guards for the Vikings for a decade. Not so much. Cameron Smith had that heart issue. Still, is he doing photography now? Either way, he's thriving. Love to see that. Armand for Watts, Marcus Epps, who then went on to a very solid career with the Eagles and the Raiders. Oli Udo, Olisimaka Udo, the pride of Elan. Not so much. Chris Boyd's still one of my favorite players because he's freaking funny, man. Like he'll commit 2 or 3 special teams penalties a game, but he's still funny, man. BC Johnson, the player who started 2 games ahead of Justin Jefferson to start the 2020 season. Austin Cunning, the Air Force long snapper before he got the yips. Again, so women think that men. It's weird that men can just literally stand around, not know each other's names, have a couple of beers, and just randomly cite off names. Like, if I was with a random group of Vikings fans and we did not know each other, having a couple of beers and literally just going like, hey, how about Mike Hughes? And it's like, it would be a full-on 10, 15-minute conversation about Mike Hughes. Like, well, Lamar Jackson was taken 2 picks after Mike Hughes. All right, so 2018, I could do this for hours. Brian O'Neill, Jalen Holmes is supposed to be that guy. Gronklin coming in from Central Michigan because he initially played college basketball. It was a different Michigan school, like Michigan Tech or something. Yeah. Daniel Carlson. Hey, let's not give up on him after 2 games. Colby Gossett, who actually started a couple of games, I think in Arizona. He bounced around. Aude Aruna, before he tore his ACL, was going to be legit. Devontae Downs fell to the 7th round because he tore his ACL his final year at Cal. Then 2017, got Diamond Dalvin Cook. I love it. Alfline was supposed to be a dude. Jaleel Johnson. Gideon was that weak side linebacker next to Barr and Kendricks for a hot second. Rodney Adams. So Rodney Adams, the pride of USF, which it's weird that University of Southern Florida is in Tampa, which is on the west side. But so Rodney Adams, solid kick returner. But then didn't he become like a vlogger or something like that? Danny Isadora, that's the UB and the U. Bucky Hodges, Temujin. Stacy Coley, again, that's the UB and the U. Our guy Afadi coming out of Northwestern. Woo, love to see that. Elijah Lee from Kansas State. Jack Tocho. I want to say like in the first iteration of the XFL or UFL, or like Jack Tocho was with the Birmingham Iron, I want to say. That was good. Like, also, I love how the Birmingham Irons uniforms look like the Miami Sharks from Any Given Sunday. It was good. All right, one more. Otherwise, I'm going to waste all my time doing this. Treadwell. Because remember, 2016, Teddy needs a tall receiver. Also, Thielen wasn't Thielen yet, and Stephon Diggs obviously was not Stephon Diggs yet. So, receiver made sense, but it just didn't work. Nah. Mac Alexander for the first time. Willie Beavers. Willie Beavers might be the worst draft pick in Vikings team history in the last couple decades. Just like he was bad at Western Michigan, and I know that Spielman also subscribed to the Mama I Can Change Him motif, but nah. Kentrell Brothers, Moritz Beringer, burning a 6th-round pick. You could have had him as a UDFA. Yeah. Also, so the Vikings messed up with Mobo because clearly this was a PR move because Moritz Beringer playing for the Schwabisch Unicorns in the German Jabroni League. Beringer out there at 6'4", 220, just mossing dudes named Johan. I mean, come on. But so they brought him in. He did no media. Like he should have been like one of the first like viral international stars. Like he should have been doing every single interview. He should have been doing, well, it wasn't really like social media back then, but like he should have been like every clip. He should have been a star. Guten Tag. But they literally walled him off from the media. It's weird. David Morgan was a fantastic blocking tight end before he had that knee issue. The pride of UTSA, go Roadrunners. Love it. He played for Larry Coker. Come on. Weatherly literally was a rocket scientist. Not just because he went to Vanderbilt, but yeah. And then J-Ron Curse. I love J-Ron, man. And it's just what could have been. So he's special teams captain, and yeah, he went down to Dallas, had a couple of good seasons. But I just remember, so the Denver game at US Bank Stadium where the Vikings got down like 20-0 against the Broncos had injuries. I think Brandon Allen was the quarterback. And then J-Ron was the hero at the end because the Vikings came back, and I think that there was a goal line stand, and J-Ron had like the winning pass broken up. And then the Vikings had is either bye week or, yeah, it was bye week. And then J-Ron and Mike Hughes had like the DUI incident. And it's just like J-Ron's stock was here, and then it was here. And then I think that Zimmer took away his captaincy. I don't know. All right, one more because this is good here. So 2015, Trey Waynes, he was fast. out of Michigan State. Also, he's a huge hunter now. And BBD, Big Buck Down. He's really good. Eric Hendricks in the second round. Daniil Hunter might be the best third-round pick in team history. Although Fred Tarkenton was technically a third-round pick, but I think that he was 29 overall because there was like 14 teams back in the day. TJ Clemmings. R. Cole Pruitt coming in from Southern Illinois. Salukis. Stephon Diggs. Okay. He's all right. Tyrus Thompson, as well as BJ DeBose, Austin Shepard. His wife was awesome. Edmund Robinson. Edmund Robinson from Newberry. That's good times. But Daniil Hunter has 99.5 sacks, 99 problems, but not getting sacks ain't one. Also, not getting paid ain't one either. So respect there. But like I said, I could freaking do this all day. But yeah, overall, like player that I underestimated, Justin Jefferson. And a lot of people did. Stop lying. And a player that I thought that was going to be the truth, Wyatt Davis, not so much. But that's it. We'll extend to Q&A as well as some, I don't know, like mildly autistic rambling. Don't know. Like people, they all have their thing, right? Some people are into trains. The daughter is into chess for some reason now. She's like obsessed. And I like going through old box scores as well as draft classes. So that's it. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.